for me, work for me, work that body for me, what, work it, work it, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, work it, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, work it.
Okay everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing where we left off with the Monitor Audio custom integrated amplifier. I played with that a lot last week, set up this whole system, and as I told you guys, I was probably going to get 4 subs. I couldn't help myself. I was there today, I got 2 more. So I am going to be adding this into how I review this amplifier, because I now tested it with 2 subwoofers. Let me tell you all about that. So I'm also gonna, as I do this, screenshot section by section to show you guys how you set up these amps. They are completely different from how you would set up your normal amplifier on the back of a subwoofer. Same but different. You have a custom install aspect of going into this. So you go into the back end of the amplifier. From there you got miles and miles of different options to do. Like normally you would put your crossover to the maximum on your subwoofer and then you do the rest through your AVR. This is a little bit different because these give you full range. So if you just do that, you are going to be having a full range band on calibration. You can drag a window obviously, which is what I did. But the correct way to do this, and I will show you now, is to get your sub set up correctly before you start getting into any D-Rack calibration. This directly answers a question that I had last week as well from another subscriber. And yes, if you guys are using D-Rack, your normal train of mind will be D-Rack is going to sort everything out as good as it can. But if you already hand D-Rack something that is set up well, it will just fine tune that a bit more. So basically what I'm saying is get your subs. If you have an SVS app or you have a sub with control on the app, something of that line that you can do before, don't discard it. Get your sub set up as well as possible, then add it into D-Rack for calibration, and it will be that much better. So I will comment exactly how much better, because I did the whole D-Rack thing, full range, dragged the window, gave it a bit of a 6 dB bump on the bass, and I have that loaded onto a file now. And I will tell you guys what the comparison is by just running this on one channel on the amp to each sub, getting them sorted out before. So if you go onto Monitor Audio site, they actually have a file for the subwoofer which you can drag in. That's already been done quite well, and then from there you can just calibrate, or you can go and drag any slope or any pre-configured. There's a few you can choose from and then just build from there, but I'll show you picture in picture how you do that. I'll add them in as I'm talking now. So I had these bridged at 1500 watts per sub, mighty darn powerful, to the point where I actually think it might be too much, but you'll be safe. The guys at Homation said they run theirs 1500 bridged all the time, had no issues. I also had no issues, but then the manual does state that the 750, this output per channel, is more than enough to sufficiently run these subs. Seeing as I'm running all 4 at the rear, I think it's got to be more than enough because it's a near field subwoofers. So this is bringing me all and more, that bit more to my dream system. I am running 4 SVS PB2000s in front, and I'm running 4 of the Monitor Audio Synergy custom install 15s at the back. Obviously those will be detuned quite substantially, so the bass meets each other nicely in the middle. What I'm looking forward to a lot is D-Rack art. If you guys have been following the channel, go back. If you haven't watched the D-Rack art video, go watch that. We are waiting for that near the end of this year. It is active room treatment, where it uses all the speakers to cancel out unwanted frequencies. So the more subs I can add, the more I can get rid of unwanted frequencies. And already in this room I have 15 speakers. I have 7 in the front, I have 4 bed layer as back surrounds, and I have 4 in the ceiling. So I'm running 15 speakers and 8 subwoofers in this system, running on a Denon A1H 15 channel receiver, Parasound, I think it is the Halo A51 5 channel by 300 watt power amplifier, powering the front stage from front wide, front left, center right, and right wide. I'm running wides as well, and then I'm running heights, and so that's front height there. I'll try and see if I have a picture of when I install these, and then running middle heights and rear heights. So that is basically the speaker layout on the system. I will still show you the whole thing once it's done. I'm constantly tweaking, as you guys can see, but I think this is going to be the last piece to the puzzle until I can run DRAC art and get this properly calibrated. Not that it's not proper at the moment, but I do have some issues, which I'll touch on when we get to the full room tour of this. Okay, so basically on the Monitor Audio app, what makes it a bit difficult is setup. So you need to go in. First, you need to decide if you're going to be running 4 channels or 2 channels. If you're going to be running 2 channels, there's a section you go in where it basically works on inputs, what to do with the inputs and outputs. A lot like you would set up Control 4 in an automation system. So you go and you say, okay, I am not going to be running 4, I'm going to be running 2. What you're going to do, are you going to bridge it? And then it sort of sets that. And then from there, this is the input. Then you need to tell it, what input am I running? Is it analog? Is it digital? Is it coaxial? What inputs am I working with? It needs to have this information. It won't just auto and work. Then, okay, you selected that. Then you can play a test signal and you will see an incoming source. I battled to get the outgoing source. So I could see the signal coming in on both of the channels, but I couldn't get anything out. Then eventually you need to go to the outputs. You need to tell the outputs what it is working with, from where, and what we need to go and get. So you need to feed this thing by a spoon. It's not going to auto anything for you. That is why this is a custom installed amplifier. It figures that whoever's using this has the knowledge to set this up. It is not for... The DIY can use it, so they're going to figure it out, but it's not for the novice. If you are just walking into this hobby, don't start off with this unless you have someone guiding you or helping you. The reason I make these videos for the guys that do jump into this problem, I can now help you. So you need to go and feed it. What am I getting from where? What to do with it? Where's it going? Volume levels, how much do you want? And then is when it comes interesting at the end point, is where you need to tell it, okay, this is a subwoofer. And you can even tell it what sub it is, and that's it when you go and drag the file in. It is a Monitor Audio 750, and you can drag that file in, or from there you can go and add your own PEQs. What you, like I said, get it right before and then DRAC after. And once you've got that sounding good, run a few demos. Okay, the bass is sounding good, or tweak the bass a bit. You can phase correct. Say the rear subs are running in a reverse phase and the front phase are running in a positive phase, so it does that. Or you can have them both doing positive, so it does that. So you can play around with different phase corrections, what you want to do for the room. Once you're done with that, you then import that. Then you start running DRAC. Get DRAC on there, and it will take what you've given it and just make it better. Once you are done with DRAC, I'll take you through this process again. I've done numerous videos on DRAC. If you want to, I'll add some links in the description. You can go back and watch that. This will just be very much in a nutshell what I do afterwards, what I look at, where I would drag some dB boosts, especially on front stage and on subs, and on the surround speakers that can handle it. My system is all custom CT7 custom install from Bowen Wilkins, so they can all handle it. Technically my ceiling speakers can also handle it, but this is an issue I run into a lot. So for the States guys, which have drywall and stuff like that, it's easy for you to cut a hole, install a speaker, but you might be having unwanted rattles like we have with our ceilings. So then I do not run hectic hertz through the ceiling speakers. I will cap those at 120 hertz on the crossovers. I don't want them doing too much bass. All of the rest I will do 80 hertz, and then the subwoofers will be doing everything under 80 hertz down to these can do, and the SVSs can do about 16 hertz, so I will drag those to 16 hertz. I still feel that's one of the only places that my cinema is lacking. I can't do infra. So for those who don't know what infra is anything below 10 hertz basically. So I will be able to fill in that gap from 16 hertz down to 1 hertz type of thing. Yes, you don't hear it, it's not audible, but trust me, if you've ever experienced infra bass, it will completely change the way you look at cinemas. And I do feel I'm lacking that in the system, just because I know what I'm lacking. But for the normal guy that walks into my theater, obviously it's going to be mind-blowing, but you do not know about the infra. It is only something that starts raising its head very high end, because infra subs, there's no such thing as an affordable infra sub. And if I talk about affordable, I'm talking 300,000 South African rands upwards. So if we need to do that in dollar for the American guys, we are basically, you are looking $17,000, $20,000 for an infra sub, and that's for one of them. Normally you will want more, but if you are running a lot of subs already in your system, one infra is sufficient, because you just wanted to pick up those little pieces that you are missing. Then all the boxes have been ticked, so to say. Okay, so I'm going to continue now unboxing these subs. Then I will connect all 4 of them up, and I will add shots as I'm doing D-Rack and as I'm doing this. Okay, completed the D-Rack recalibration of this room. Everything at a glance looks good. I am now going to proceed to filter design. Again, if you guys do not know D-Rack, first we level match, then we select what seating position, then you do all of your calibrations. Allow about 3 hours for this. It takes some time, but as time goes on you refine it and you get a bit better, but it still takes some time. Then when you are happy, we can proceed to our filter design. Okay, so after the export, from there you need to decide, are you doing direct live, just bass management, or bass control? I'm doing bass control, so go to bass control, give it some time to initialize bass control, and then next I will show you how I drag my Harman dB curves. Okay, so basically run a 10 dB curve on the speakers where you want. So for me, front speakers, surround speakers, I'm not going to do the ceiling speakers because I don't want that amount of bass through them, as I have explained. So this is front, left and right. I have a 10 dB boost. We have the crossover set to 70. I will move this crossover to 80. Now you can play around. I like a 80 Hertz. If they are bigger speakers, a 60 Hertz, but a 80 Hertz is good here. We have our 10 dB curve. That is the cuts off for the subwoofers. Okay, and then we continue on to the next speakers, which will be our center speaker. There we go. So fronts, this is the center. We do the same. We have the 10 dB curve on there. You can go a bit better, but be careful. 10 is already aggressive, but it should be fine. You can go 12 dB if you really want, but 10 for me always sounds good. Okay, so you just do this for all the speakers. Let me just show you. The only thing that's going to be different here is
Now those will be the same. Surrounds, my heights that are in the ceiling, which are these. So they will be different. There we go. So on these I do not want a 10 dB bump on those or these. So here I will take away the 10, or we can technically leave the 10 dB and just cross them at 120, because I don't want them doing bass below that. Then we can leave the 10 dB, just cross them. So also take the other ones and we just cross them also at 120 Hertz. So that means they will not be playing any notes under 120 Hertz. Let's just check. This was front wides. Yes, these we will also just move to 80 cross. We have those up done 120. Let's just check the rest of the system, this being a 15 channel system. The tops we have on walls, so they can handle bass. I'm not going to rattle the ceiling or any in walls, so we can move. So once you're happy with all your settings, just double check them again, go through them. Once you're happy, you can now export. It's just checking again, initializing bass control. Doesn't take too long, but the next step does take long, and that is optimizing everything. Should be another easily 10 minutes. So I'll start that, and then I will cut away and come back and show you guys. Oh, there goes my laptop power as well.
Okay everybody, we can conclude this video. It's actually the next day, just to give you an idea how time consuming these calibrations and playing around with a system can be. And I might still chop and change a bit over the next few days. So if one actually does a very professional calibration, you might return to site 2 or 3 times and not just the one. Basically, last night when I sat here and I told you guys that when you do the subs, you correct them before and then you pull them in. Yes, you can. But I ran into issues last night because I did that. You get the files from Monitor Audio. I had a few different files. You can you need to know exactly what your sub is doing and what your room is doing with that sub. If you have that down to an absolute perfection, take that file and load it up. If you do not, please just let D-Rack do its thing. Let me explain. I thought I knew the subs, I knew the specification. I sort of know what this room is doing, but when I loaded that in, did all my D-Rack calibrations, loaded my Harman curves, did the crossovers as I showed you guys. When I got to the demo late last night, the subs at the back, the ones I installed now, they were bottoming out left, right, and center. And I just said, listen, it's late now. I'm going to call it a day. Tomorrow, fresh eyes, I look at this again. Did a bit of digging, did a bit of research, and decided I'm just going to do a low-pass filter, roll off with the sub. Do it at a 12 dB. I think I used the Butterworth. Did the Butterworth 12 dB. And that's all I did from there. From there, I just let D-Rack do its thing with the information I fed it. And it's never let me down. D-Rack Advanced Bass Control is really, it is that good where you can just leave it and do its thing. Just make sure your measurements and where you place your mic is on point. And your level matching of the audio in the beginning is on point. They must all be exactly the same. Maybe 0.1 of a decibel difference is okay, but exactly the same. And then from there, try and calibrate at quite a volume. So you put these speakers through their paces and the system can see where the weaknesses are. I normally leave the room. It's too loud for me. At the bottom, there's a 15-second delay. Do that, close the door, leave the room, listen when it's all done, come back. Do that for about freaking 20 times. It takes about 3 hours. And then from there, not really much you do. Click on the advanced bass control, add your 10 dB or whatever Harman curve you want to just put some excitement back. Because if you guys are new to the channel, calibration removes a bit of soul. Then your Harman curve, I'll put a link in description for you guys to download Harman curves if you want. That brings some excitement and impact back. So I did a 10 dB Harman curve and I just raised the crossover, even though the system said 70 is good. I wanted to play it a bit safe and let all the subs that I have do the lifting. So I moved them to 80, and then the ones in the ceiling, even though they could do 70, I moved them to 120. Not because they can't do it, but because they start rattling my ceiling board, and I don't want any rattles in the cinema. I just want the tactile bass. So when this was done, the tactile bass, it's always been insane, it's my thing. But now, with the 4 15-inch subs behind the seat, fed by 750 watts times 4, it is tactile as you would not believe. And then the 4 subs in front, when you are watching something I like for bass, to watch The Batman, and you watch that chase scene where the penguin comes and he shoots, and you hear the surround going overhead and coming from all over the place. And then when he comes around, you hear the rain, you hear him panning, you hear the gunshots, the suspense, and he's not there. And then the car starts in the far right corner. And then the tactile bass and the directional bass comes in. You can hear the car starts there, boom, and then you can hear the car roaring around, and then they focus on it. And you just see that in your seats. It's almost like you want to grab on, those thrusters are going to bolt you. And then when they're in the car and they're doing the race or the chase scene, every little boom boom and the ba kwa 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 all over, it's like you just want to duck and dive. But it's not just a ass kicking of bass. When you've done a whole D-Rack system and a powerful system like this, everything is on point. All the gunshots are where they need to be. The overheads, it is insane. But okay, back to, let's first touch on this little beauty. The UMIC 2, highly recommended. UMIC 1 is also good, but this just gave me a little bit more finesse. The detail and the way it picked up the sounds was just a little bit better. This I can recommend over the UMIC 1. Great little product. They are getting expensive now. They used to be cheaper. But I think, what are they now? About $300? I'll just put link in the description. But still, if this is your hobby and your game, this is the tool that you need. Then the Monitor Audio IA750-4. Wow, what a freaking amp. And being custom install amplifier. I've worked with a lot of digital or analog type amplifiers, like on the clips, there where you still only have the knobs and you set all of that. But as soon as you work with a piece of kit like this, it makes that amp seem like an absolute dinosaur. I mean, you do all your plugins at the back as you would. But from there, it's not just, oh, where did I plug it? Where's it going? I can tell it. Listen, I plugged it here, but I want the signal to go there. So you can fully use this for subs and still have another signal feeding music to another room and doing different things. And the amount of input you can give this. And I mean, I eventually just used the basic, give it a bit of a low pass filter and D-Rack do the rest. But if you know what you are doing, oh my goodness, it's a piece of absolute tuning heaven. That combined with a good calibration mic and good software, all I can say is I can't wait for D-Rack art. I can't wait for D-Rack art, man. I think that's going to bring the cinema just to the next level. But for now, I am happy. The only thing I think I will add here is I need some power conditioning. We had the guys from Audio Quest out yesterday treating us to a whole day of different demos of their products and not priced badly. So I think I want to get myself a Shuko 707. some of the power cables just to up everything in here. As you guys have seen, I did start doing power conditioning videos, and there are benefits, but those units were like 3 times the price. So if I do get this audio Quest units in, I will do a video on that and let you guys know, because really the price was good. And the 707 has like almost like a backup capacitor where it stores power for high currents, and when the amps need it, it will give it that instant boost, and then it will load up again for the next scene and just sort of feeds it. It's like a little turbo for your amplifiers. Really love it. I think I'm going to order 2 of those, because I need for both rooms, just because I do have voltage drop. We are on a farm, so the cables are far. I do have voltage drop. We are upgrading the solar infrastructure more, but still it doesn't give you that power conditioner, and that little charge does just amazing stuff. But okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took me a few days to make, because it was like trial and error, this and this and this, but I hope I covered it. If you are looking for a custom installed amplifier for your subwoofers, for integrated through the house, give this new range of Monitor Audio a look. They are freaking phenomenal and powerful beasts, but still run efficiently. Because my house is on solar, I monitor, and this system, when I was doing this video now, was running 8 subwoofers, 2 power amplifiers, a huge receiver, a big projector, and we were hardly pushing over 1,500 watts. So even if things are rated high, you're not using that power all the time. It's peaks and dips. So it runs very efficiently. I was very surprised at what this system actually can run at tilt. That was its reference volume. That was thumping it. But okay guys, I'll put link in description of the amplifiers. We can't put these prices online, they are custom install, but hit me up. I will always do you guys a good deal, and then we can also partner it with, if you need subs, speakers, whatever you want, hit me up, I'll hook you up. And if you guys want a demo, you know where to get me. My details are in the description. Please, by appointment only. Always here. I'm very busy, as I've said before, and we need to book these in by appointment. Guys, please also like, subscribe, share. I do see it's rising. I'm very happy about that. And also the guys watching that aren't subscribed, that's also gone up a bit. So guys, thank you. I love the support. Keep on sharing the love. Please stay safe. I want to see you here in the next video. But until that next video, have a good one. Cheers. Bye.
Right now, you're listening to where cinematic audio has been. Because we are so used to hearing sound this way, we don't notice that it is merely a fraction of what its potential could be. But what if sound could be extraordinary again?
Inches are up and burning.
Opening main doors for second turn at 1.
2 are away.
What if sound could be captivating, subtle, authentic? What if sound could be deeper, more dimensional? There's no need to wonder, because you're listening to Dolby Atmos. With Dolby Atmos, audio can precisely move in any direction within this theater, whether the sound sweeps from the back to all the way in front, arcs overhead,